Where last we left our heroes, they ventured into the overgrowth with their guide, Barnaby, the shroom-picking drug faun. He led them to basically one of his favorite mushroom-picking spots, where he set out to work before he planned to take them off to his commune to visit one known as the Dreamwalker. The party found that they were not alone sitting around these banks, as the rocks that were surrounding them came to life, revealing themselves to be massive flail snails that attacked the party, cracking their shells and severing their sluggy snail meat. The party made relatively quick work of the flail snails before a massive froghemoth burst forth from the bubbling magical pool of water that they were sitting by. Tempted by the blood of the snails, the frog went about attempting to devour the party, consuming Denier in one gulp. Nara, thinking quickly, turned this beast into a much smaller, tinier, and ineffectual frog, rendering it harmless for the time being. The party collected the wares from these creatures and questioned Barnaby as to whether or not he knew these creatures would be here, and he seemed to explain that they typically aren't out this far due to those frogs being particularly attracted to their meats. We now rejoin the party, having freshly slain these snails.
Good God in heaven. Smell like shit.
I would suggest we get out of here before that thing turns back to normal.
No, hold on. Guide, is this shit magical? Asmo's gesturing at the mess of bug.
The slime can be pretty useful for stuff.
Oh, no.
I got some already.
Nice.
Did Nara just walk onto frame covered in slime? I have some.
She holds up 2 little vials of snail liquor.
Okay, good.
Yeah, this can be very useful.
For what?
I mean, if you want to make a good time.
Good time?
Yeah.
I think they're code for drugs.
I mean, part of it. Well, I got everything I need. He taps like a bulging satchel of mushrooms at his side. We can probably head back to my commune and I can introduce you to the walker.
Excuse me, your commune.
Yeah.
Do you live off grid?
What's a grid?
The answer is yes.
Oh. Then yeah.
Fuck, I didn't even think about that, Nick. God damn it. Do you live off wooden trail? Fuck.
Well, I definitely don't live on Wooden Trail. There's
away
woods
from
at the
society.
trail.
I think what he's getting at is away from society at large.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, like, I guess my commune's a society.
Okay, did you all go there because people would judge you? The pause gives me pause.
Let's go find out for ourselves.
Evidently.
Okay.
I'm just wiping away frog slime as we're walking.
Yeah, the slime mostly enveloped your arcane ward, but you guys begin once again traveling through the enchanted forests of the overgrowth, marveling at the various exotic fauna. Every now and again you see animals that are pretty typical to you. Sometimes you'll see like brown bears. Particularly you see a mother and its cubs just kind of wandering about. It's eyeing you cautiously as you travel by. You're at a safe enough distance where it doesn't feel like charging, but Its cubs are just play wrestling. But you see these things coupled with, like, dragonflies that are just, like, slightly too large and leave behind them, like, a little pixie trail as they flutter about.
Nora
of course,
will
as you
probably try
conti-
and catch those.
Trying to catch the dragonflies? All right, go ahead and give me a survival check.
5.
You reach out to grab it, and as you do, your hand passes straight through it, almost as though it had no physical form whatsoever.
What?
Your hand kind of like tingles as it swishes through like the dust fluttering behind, almost numbs a little. Not to the effect where you feel any ill from it, but it just feels tingly.
Interesting.
While we're continuing to walk, I will provide healing to whoever needs it.
Me.
Okay, I'll spend 3 uses of my healing light on Nara. Ooh.
Oh.
Was that Jurassic Park again?
Dun, 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 dun,
You
dun.
rubbed off on
I am
me.
healing
I know, I'm
a
sorry.
drow now.
You
I just
rubbed
started
off on me while we were
singing it.
playing League.
I just started singing it out of nowhere.
Hey guys, just you know, I haven't seen the enemy's jungler in a while.
Oh my god.
You heal 14 hit points.
Heck
Nara.
yeah.
Nice.
No, I'm not.
Asmo
close to
as
half.
well.
I don't know if I need that actually.
Are you
Hold on.
sure?
I don't think I got touched in that fight.
Are you sure?
Okay. Then I will keep my remaining 7.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
pretty
no,
sure
no.
everybody got hurt a little bit because one of
You
them
gonna check
had like
that
a
case? No, I
psychic
think
attack.
I think that only passed through part of the temporary hit points he gave me. I think I
Fair
actually
enough.
was shocked how minimal my damage was this fight.
I mean, you still would have took it. How many temporary hit points did you have? Because that would have done at least 11 damage to you, if I recall correctly.
You had 9 temporary hit points.
Oh yeah, so my health is reset. I'm sorry. Okay, that explains it. All right, well, I have to write down my health at the end of every fucking session now because I can't trust any game I'm in. Like,
It's
like
so
it's
strange.
it's like every fucking time it resets health.
Well,
It's wild.
Only
way.
you. It's nuts.
It is bizarre. Either way, you continue traveling through the woods. Go ahead and give me perception checks.
Okay.
Alrighty.
26.
Natural 1.
Wolfgang don't notice shit.
14, depending on the situation. 23 if my knowledge helps.
It does not in this situation.
Cool.
Yeah, Wolfgang, you're just too busy like registering first aid to everybody.
Yep. Just hold still.
No!
Asmo, you notice that even though you've been traveling for quite a long while, like you're getting close to what should be feeling like dusk to your body. The sun still kind of sits with this like mercurial glow in the sky. Like it's showing no signs of setting at this point. And Nara, you notice something. What looks to almost be the form of a humanoid, like a very large humanoid, kind of covered in moss, slumped against a tree.
Ooh, what's that?
You go over to investigate
What do you see, Nara?
as Barnaby just kind of stops and turns, huh? Kind of trails over with you guys. As you approach it, this being looks to be about what would be like a 10-foot tall humanoid. And as you glance at it further, the flesh appears to be stone, kind of woven with like kind of tree roots. It looks to have been resting here for quite some time in order to have grown this much moss on it. And at the very center of its chest, you can see this kind of like hollow indentation.
What's that?
And she's gonna try and inspect a little more closely.
You said that just like Dee Dee says it. What's this button do?
What's this button do?
Go,
Oh, Jesus.
adorable.
Dee Dee!
Go ahead and
Nara police.
get out of my Feywilds.
Get out of my D&D campaign, Dee Dee!
Go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
The episode would be called D&DD, wouldn't it? Fuck.
Yep, 16.
Dungeons and Dexter. As you kind of like climb up this thing, because you kind of climb up onto its lap as it sits kind of slumped against this tree, and start to like dig your hands towards that little divot. It looks like this used to be some sort of ancient golem of sorts, and this hollowed out husk here looks to have been broken away. It looks as though from what you can tell, very similar to the cannon you found at Silver Rock, looks to be a nesting point for a magical gem at the center of this thing's chest, but there is no gem inside.
How was it dug out? Like chipped out? Or?
With your present investigation point, all you can tell is that this, the chest area looks like it was busted apart by heavy, blunt objects, maybe hammers. But you can't tell, like, what was involved in the removal of this, as it looks like it was, at the very least, months ago, at most, years and years and years ago.
Well, looks like it was a golem of some kind. Kind of
Detect
reminds me of the cannon.
Based on the same tech.
Same thing, I think. But the gem was taken out, sort of chipped out somehow.
Daenerys going to go over and he's going to take a look at this particular hole.
All right. Denier goes and examines the hole. What about it are you examining?
The indentation and the shape of it. Does it look familiar by chance? Because I know that T-Wig has ties to the overgrowth, and I know that T-Wig has a gem in the center of their chest.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a Arcana check with advantage then. Your keyboard is loud, Taka.
17.
So, sorry. I write down notes. Fuck.
17. Yeah, no worries. You just have a very loud, clackety keyboard. I know, I do too.
I'm trying to move my microphone away, as far as fuck away, because I have it on a swivel arm. But I'm just like, is that far enough? Okay, let me try one more time.
17. As you examine this particular piece, you can see that having like no real in-depth knowledge of T-Wig's design and structure, you assume it to be very similar to this just by practice, just by like having a power core for a golem at its center of mass. Knowing that these creatures, or knowing that T-Wig had some connection to the overgrowth, you believe that this could be the type of creature that such a gem could have been harvested from. But you're not sure if this one in particular is exactly what it would have been.
How much bigger is this than T-Wig, would you say?
It is probably comparable in size to the War Forge mech that you fought.
Okay.
So definitely larger and definitely built for, like, you know,
combat.
Actual
It's built for
some form of protection or combat. Yeah,
It's got good old wide shoulders. I hear you. Okay.
it's a guardian.
I'll use my angelic sight to cast detect magic.
It looks like this thing does have like kind of a faint air of magic around it, but it has drastically faded over time.
Okay. I'll keep my eyes on the surroundings then.
As you do cast this, though, like, you do notice around you that many of the like even some of like the smaller bugs, some like termites and things like that, do have kind of a magical property to them out there. Just kind of fluttering around every now and again. You see a bird with a bit of magic to it. Its wingspan kind of like fluttering. It almost looks like it has little almost candle-like wicks of fire streaming off the side of its wings as it swoops down and catches what appears to be a cicada of some sort out of the air in its beak.
Nara climbs up to its face and like hangs off of its head and starts like yelling at its face. Hello? Hello?
You lift
Anything
yourself
left
up
in there?
onto this mushroom-like brim of a protruding forehead that it has. And as you pull yourself up to its face, it doesn't have any facial features to speak of. But it does have a couple of indents that could have been considered eyes at some point. Possibly. But they lie cold and motionless and dead. You get no response.
Boo.
I think this could be one of the Guardians.
For what?
Yeah, this one's one of the dead ones, man.
There's live ones?
I mean, yeah.
One of the dead ones.
Oh, there's plenty of them out here. They got magic stuff in them, so people like you come out here and they're like, oh shit, I want some of that, and they break them down as best they can if they can survive, and then they try to take it if they win. Typically, it's best to just kind of leave them alone. I mean, they're just doing their job.
What is their job usually? To
Keeping
protect
the peace out
things?
here. Making sure things don't get out of hand. Maybe the fact that so many of these things are gone is why those snails came out this way.
Or there's something deeper in that's pushing them out, running from a bigger predator.
Yeah, and you'd think things like these would probably be the things that would stop stuff like that, right?
Yep. Definitely concerning. Especially with how much magic flows freely out here.
It's only concerning if we can't kill the thing that they're running from.
You guys are crazy. I like you.
I like you too.
Oh, yeah.
We've just been through a lot.
Yeah, we have.
Right on, man.
I wish I could show you the face Aspen was making. We said,
Dead eyes.
Dead eye. He only has one.
Okay.
Either way, we
noticing
should
what he's
get going. It's getting late, man. As he says
I look
that,
up at the sky.
as you do, the sky is dark.
What?
Huh.
Barnaby kind of like goes over to a tree, grabs a stick. He pulls something from one of his pouches and just kind of like he seems to like sprinkle some sap at the edge of the like frilled branch. He holds out the branch as you see these fireflies begin swarming in. Wolfgang, with your detect magic on, these things are definitely magical in nature. They seem almost like non-spectral will-o-wisps, as these fireflies emanate more light than you'd expect them to, and just kind of like hover around the branch as he begins to make kind of a bio-organic torch. This way.
Clever trick.
thank God he knows where he's going.
I want one of those.
One of what?
The stick. With the thing.
Seems those light bugs are attracted to whatever sap you put on that stick.
They must eat it.
So I just have to put a sap on a stick and bugs will come?
Sap on a stick, sap's following you, whatever you want.
Nara, go ahead and make a nature check.
11.
Yeah, something like that. You find the stick, you find the sap, and you get bugs.
Bugs.
She's just like marching and like putting it up like a baton, watching the bugs go up and down.
So yeah, you find like a stick very similar to what he had. You're not entirely sure what sap he used, but you just try to find some like from Denier you could probably get something sticky and sweet, or just using prestidigitation you could probably try to emulate it.
I'm just gonna take it from a tree.
And while you don't quite get as good of an effect as Barnaby does, having lived in this area forever, you get a couple of these fireflies. You get a little torch that's absolutely pointless to you, who can see perfectly fine even in the pitchest of darkness.
Yeah. So she has it, and she's like raising it up and down, and like marching as she has it, and each step is like bug light, bug light, bug light.
To you, it's almost like a phosphorus sparkler in front of your face, just having like one or two of these bugs.
It's a 4th of July sparkler.
Yep. Eventually, after another like what feels like couple hours of marching through these dark and now more mysterious woods, as these trees that were so vibrant and green during those light time hours now look very gnarled and twisted at night, almost as if they're watching you.
Trees themselves are changing form. Interesting.
Nara looks out to inspect that change.
You can go ahead and give me another perspection.
Perspection.
Perspection chection. Perception check.
16.
Your eyes being so focused on these bright bugs, it's kind of hard for you to get a good glimpse at anything out in the finer shadows. You're just so happy that these bugs are your friends.
Bugs.
Eventually you start hearing the sound of what could only be described as like sitars and rhythmic drums. As you start getting closer and closer, you start to see kind of the glow of firelight, and you start to smell the very pungent aroma of burning sage and herbs start to fill the air. Oh, we're getting close, man. Those are my people.
Do you get outsiders often?
Not very often. Most people don't know how to get here. But me, I'm a pretty good judge of character, so they trust him when I bring him in.
What should we avoid doing? Any rules aside from the obvious ones?
I guess just don't try to hurt nobody or steal
No
nothing.
murder.
But
That's the
we don't
obvious
really-
ones. Okay.
we don't really
Okay.
believe in possession, so it's gonna be kind of hard to steal. You know?
Yeah. Stealing, wrong.
Yeah. Cool. As long as we got that clear, we should be fine.
As long as no one takes my things, they're my things.
I don't think anybody's gonna try and take your stuff. You look like you have sharp things.
I do.
Yeah,
a
we
lot
don't.
of sharp things.
Yeah, we aren't really much of a fighting people.
For the best.
I got that from your energy.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to read, especially when I'm on this level.
Yeah, when the print is that big. But anyways,
He pulls back this kind of like sheet from a drooping willow tree, this sheet of leaves, and you see inward this this clearing with what appears to be like a small commune, very outdoorsy. There's no real interior spaces here other than like the inside of like some hollowed out trees. And you see a lot of fawns just sort of like frolicking, laying about,
Vibing.
just very much vibing Some of them just kind of like waving their hands as these fireflies just kind of like follow their patterns. Their eyes, this kind of psychedelic tie-dye concoction of colors. They are all the definition of vibing. A few of them stop and recognize that Barnaby is back and has brought friends. And some like kind of wander over. Oh, welcome. Hey, man. Welcome to our commune.
Oh, fuck you, Nick. God damn it.
What? It's just my voice, man. You can only do so many of these. As they begin kind of like welcoming you in. A lot of them seem very interested in touching your flesh. Just, whoa, you're not as fuzzy. You're bumpy, they say to you, Asmo, as they're like trying to like touch you.
Okay.
Nara is doing everything she can to dodge being touched, because that is a no-no.
Go ahead and dex check with advantage.
Okay. 21. Thank God.
Yeah, they're like just like you're just whizzing by them. You're like ultra instinct. Doc, 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 doc. Their hippie hands as they're like just reaching for you. You just kind of like dodge backward, dodge backward.
No.
Whoosh. Whoa, that one felt like air. And then they get to you, Daenerys, and you're just like you're slowly collecting people as you start walking through, as they just find you very soft and comforting. So you're getting a lot of pets right now.
Wonderful.
They're just like scratching by your chin, by your cheeks, under your neck. So, whoa!
The cheeks
yeah,
are
welcome back, man. It's like, great. Yeah, have you guys seen the Walker? Where's Sprout at these days? Oh, he's just over in the tree, man. Yeah, bro. as they're all just like scratching Daenerys as they follow you. One of the smaller ones, Wolfgang, is just kind of like holding onto your cape, your like cloak, and just kind of like rubbing its thumb and forefingers on it. Hello. Wolfgang just sits there, JoJo facing, I guess.
No, so I can have my mic muted. Sorry. I'll look over. I'll lean down and I'll ruffle his hair.
Yeah. This one doesn't look like he's directly under the effects of everybody else here, but he's definitely got a massive contact high. Yeah. Yeah.
How's it going, kiddo?
I'm good, mister. Are you a hero?
Something like that.
Don't mind the kids, man. They just got like they're good judges of people.
I love kids.
And as you continue walking in, more children actually kind of gather around you and keep like grabbing onto your coat. Like doing that same forefinger and thumb rub.
I'll let them.
By the time you make it over to what appears to be the Dreamwalker's hollowed out tree hut, Wolfgang has gathered 7 children. Like all grabbing various parts of his cloak. And Daenerys, you are currently amassed with a dozen people who just think you are the softest fucking thing.
Excellent.
You are basically being carried, Daenerys.
Nara is very tense and is like poised and ready to get to her weapons if she needs to. There's too much touching of humans going on.
At any point would you have just hid?
I probably like slipped into the shadows at some
go ahead
point
and give me
just
a
to
stealth
watch.
check.
Would that be with advantage because everyone's high?
Sure.
Depends if
That'll
it's
be
sativa or
easier for me.
indica.
Thank God, because it's a 9.
You sleek into the shadows, and you just hear, "Hi."
Tell me more about this guy, Nick.
Well, if you can smell him, you could probably smell him based on the voice I did, but he's a very rotund fawn boy who's just chilling in the shadows, not really doing much of anything. And then Nara just kind of like scoots back there. You come around here much? Hi.
Just know that she very quick feets back over to Asmo's side. And
Okay, bye, lady.
Swoops up underneath his arm and is like,
Kill them if they come too close.
You can see his eyes glinting from the shadows.
I don't know, the place seems pretty nice to me. Daenerys says as he's just being carried like a mosh pit away.
Pretty much.
Nara like leans up looking at Asmo.
They've already turned him. They've already turned him against us.
I don't sense anything malicious, Nara. So.
As you guys walk through the vapors and mists of the village, give me a con save.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God.
Con save?
Yes.
Lord.
Daenerys, you are fine.
No!
I think with Lex has helped a lot.
9.
8.
Natural
With a
one
nat
for Asmo.
1? No, come
Yeah,
on.
that's a natural one for Asmo.
13?
Wolfgang, you also pass. But Nara and Asmo. Nara, as you begin to run back to Asmo after being confronted by the fawn boy, Asmo, like, you see Nara just kind of like running towards you. Her face looks like it's starting to like melt.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
For a moment, like, you see her kind of like fade into mist, and she almost like she comes out the other side looking like the female Deadeye you had fought a few times as she ducks under your arm. Nara, as you run towards Asmo, your vision begins to blur, and all you see is just this like heavenly glow around him, like, this is safety.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
So Asmo, this smoke demon assassin just ducked under your arm.
Oh no, have I been inhaling everything?
Asmo touches his face.
Yeah, all 3 eyes are there.
Oh no!
God.
No, that's normal. 3 eyes are perfect.
1, 2, 3, they're all there.
This is where an hour feels like a minute and vice versa.
You start to rub your hand down your face. You start to put a finger in your mouth. And next thing you know, you're swallowing your whole hand.
Oh my God.
Shit, he really is Ouroboros.
Yeah, he's starting to consume his own arm. As Nara is hooked under that arm, just like terrified, looking left and right. You see his eyes glinting from every shadow now, Nara.
Huh?
And you just hear his ringing in your ears. Your own breathing is starting to echo and mimic his own. As you guys
Hey.
as you guys reach the central hut, Wolfgang, you and Daenerys, you get kind of like set down, but people just like keep petting you. All right, guys, we're here. They gotta talk to the walker, man. Everybody's go back to your vibes. Okay, bye, soft kitty. Bye, Mr. Hero Lightman.
Goodbye, children.
I want to grow up to be like that guy. He wears cool hats.
It's true. I do wear a cool hat. That is pretty cool.
As you guys approach, or as you guys make it to this, the people haven't like all dispersed, but they've just kind of like the adults are more gathered around now. And as you walk up to this hollowed out tree, You see a lot of people just kind of like laying down, laying back. Some kind of like sit in a lotus position on the ground, legs crossed. They're all just kind of like rocking back and forth or writhing or just like moving all in kind of the same tempo. Not making the same movements, but just writhing to a very similar beat, basically. Some of them have their eyes open, but their eyes are rolled like all the way back in their heads. Like they're in like some deep form of trance. Nara and Asmo, however, Asmo, you're now like kind of nearly elbow deep in your own jaw.
My God.
And Nara, you have gone to cover yourself with most of his cloak to avoid the glancing eyes in the shadows.
So this looks very odd out of context.
So he's... So wait, yeah, he has a full cloak, so I'm probably like... Because you know how there's like that gap behind the neck?
Mm-hmm.
She's like probably like got her like as like at a backpack, popping her head up over the shoulder. But
Yeah,
like not the full face, just like up to the eyes, not even the nose over the shoulder, like watching.
Yeah, you're wearing his hood.
Yes.
As he is swallowing his own arm, Denier and Wolfgang. Asmo, right now you just have like a very itchy throat and you're just trying to get to it.
Yeah, I gotta get that scratch at it.
It's the only way you could think to do it.
Yes, you gotta go in there and scratch it. At least when you got scratches under your skin, you just gotta take a knife and get in there.
Just gotta.
Yeah, Wolfgang Denier, this is... I guess this isn't too far out of the ordinary.
No, you're right.
I mean, I've never seen him go that deep before. How much further do you think he can go?
Unfortunate choice of words.
No, let's just live here for a while, guys. Let's just let this seep out to the.
Let's just see where it goes. So yes, Asmo continues deep-throating his own arm. Denier stares on with inquisitive glee. And Wolfgang just JoJo faces, I guess.
Wow.
This is, exciting time in our lives.
I mean, I assume the elbow is going to stop him at some point.
You guys continue approaching through these throngs of people that are kind of like sitting and laying in rows, almost like it's like a yoga studio. They're kind of like parsed out, almost grid-like. As you get closer and closer to the front, the mists get thicker and thicker. Denier, Wolfgang, go ahead and make me another con save.
I got
Oh
a
my
feeling this.
God. I got a feeling you guys gonna fail soon.
11.
Let's go. Natural one.
Denier, you still make it. Wolfgang. Wolfgang, on the other hand, this line of people seems to now stretch on for eternity. But your legs, when you look down, they look like they're a mile long. You see your legs stretch out in front of you. You set it down very slowly. You start dragging yourself forward on it, and it feels like you're moving at warp speed.
Oh, fuck. That ain't good.
Slowly move your other leg in front of you. Meanwhile, Asmo looks like he's like blasting forward at a speed hitherto unknown to you. Same with Denier. Barnaby turns around. Oh, you're feeling it now, man. And his face stretches out, so his face now looks like a horse to you.
Oh.
I'm really feeling it now, Mr. Satyr.
I'm a fool.
What? That's crazy.
You guys continue marching forward. Wolfgang moving a lot slower than the rest of them now, Denier. But as you guys approach, you see at the very far end, inside of this hollowed out tree, a person just kind of like they have these flowers kind of like sticking out of the top of their head, mushrooms kind of growing off of their shoulders. and kind of a cloak sprawling down their back with lots of vegetation growing off of it. A very old Faunus gentleman whose eyes are also kind of rolled back as he like rocks back and forth, arms stretched out to his sides. He's very much moving in the tempo of the people that are writhing. And at the end of his two little nubby horns at the top of his head are two bells that ding, ding, with every movement and gyration. As you guys get closer, Wolfgang, Asmo, Nara, you see this spectral force kind of like swoosh out around you. Welcome, brothers. How's it going? And sister.
Whoa, man.
Nara ducks down a little bit further.
No need to hide. We're all friends here. I have not seen you gracing these forests before, neither in your dreams, nor in the waking state.
Correct. That smart, correct.
Denier, as you were walking, out of nowhere, Asmo, Nara, and Wolfgang both collapse. All three of them collapse onto the ground. I mean, I guess Nara not maybe of her own volition, but
she's like a backpack on Asmo right now.
I thought I saw it.
Asmo, so you see all of them collapse down. Oh, they must be feeling it now, Barnaby says to you.
Ow.
How so?
They're in his realm now. He looks over to the man sitting on the mushroom.
Denier walks over and kneels down next to Wolfgang. Given Denier's knowledge, is there any way that I can tell that they're all dream walking right now?
Arcane with advantage.
28.
Ooh.
They are definitely dreaming. They are under some form of spell right now, very similar to your dream, but not quite as potent.
I see. They've all fallen asleep, which is... He points over towards Nara. Very interesting for her case.
Do you wish to go examine Nara?
Absolutely.
All right.
She's a drow.
While you go examine Nara, you can see Asmo's hand slowly droop its way out of his mouth.
Like it's like a fruit by the foot.
Ew.
It just unrolls.
Yeah, Asmo, while you're in your dream state, this man kind of like hovers over to you. His body is mist-like. You should take that out of there. You'll choke on it. And he starts like lifting your arm out, and he starts pulling it back like a rope, 1 foot after another. Your arm now feels like it's 17 feet long. It's coiling in front of you as your hand slowly droops out of your mouth in the physical waking world. Denier, go ahead and give me a knowledge nature check with advantage as you have studied the Fey folk.
Nat 20.
Oh.
Yes.
Much like many of the satyrs around you, or satyrs and fauns around you who are not technically asleep, Nara is also in what appears to be the Fey dreamlike state that is their trance. Her eyes are open and just kind of like rolled back, although it's very hard to tell considering her eyeballs are pure black to begin with. But she is not technically asleep, but she is dreaming.
This is absolutely fascinating. In my studies, I've never heard an elf be able to go into a state like this before.
I don't know, man. I don't really talk to a lot of them. Most of them are kind of uppity and like kind of jerks.
It depends on the ones you talk to. I know a few nice ones.
The ones I've known are really like, oh, you're just a fucking, deer boy. They're jerks.
You know what? In the words of a close friend of mine, fuck them.
Maybe some of them are kind of hot.
He gives a little bit of a head tilt. All right. And he's gonna carefully make sure that all three of them are at least in comfortable positions, that they didn't like fall over in a weird way, like Family Guy fall directly on their arm or what have you.
Yeah, they seem fine. For the most part, they seem to have like consciously chosen a comfortable spot to land, and they're still kind of like rolling about. Nara is currently just a burrito in Asmo's cloak.
A bararita. No, it doesn't work. Okay.
No.
A Naruto.
There we go.
A Naruto.
Oh.
He say no, sir.
No.
And I'm going to settle down myself, and I'm going to cast Dream.
All right. So as you guys are being spoken to by this fawn, out of nowhere, Denier, what form would your dream take?
I'm going to take the form of Somnium Vagus.
Yes, but what world would you see this dream in?
How do you mean the world? I assume that we would be...
You literally shape reality around you when you cast Dream.
I assume... Well, yeah, I would assume that we would step into... Like, I would step into his dream. I wouldn't, like, make any kind of changes.
Okay, so you're not changing anything immediately. Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm just stepping in as Somnium Vagus and just leaving everything as is for now.
All right, and you're stepping into the one of your friends or the walker?
The walker is... I'm going to step into the walker's dreams.
All right. Is there a save in general for this, or only when you mean ill intent?
Only when I mean ill intent.
Okay. So, as each of you lay there, or sit there, Asmo, your arm finally uncoiled completely, sitting down on the ground in front of you, covered in your mucus and saliva, begins to retract into your, back into your shoulder, like
Excellent.
Luffy after firing out a pistol.
Or Piccolo.
Yeah, or Piccolo. There we go.
There we
OG stretchy arm boy. Yeah, your arm. There you are. Now you should be safe.
Thank you. How long does this stuff last for?
As long as necessary for you to find what you need. As you speak, the form of a plague doctor's mask forms behind you, Asmo, and a cloak of stars begins to emanate out from it. What the?
This is the guy saying what the?
Yeah, he doesn't recognize what's happening here. As Somnium Vagus Denier, you appear before the Dreamwalker, who looks old and wizened, his face wrought with creases, as he stares at you inquisitively. What is happening?
I noticed that my companions were slumbering. I assumed that they were in your dream, so I decided to stop by and say hello. He gives a bow. I am Somnium Vagus.
I have never seen someone enter so voluntarily and sober.
It's taken quite a long time in order for me to gain these abilities. I have, as some would say, a certain affinity to the land of dreams. And he waves his hand, the mask fades away, and it's Denier's face. His eyes are completely emerald green, though.
Yeah, the three of you, this would be the first time you've really seen Denier in this form, I believe.
So this is what you did.
I'm so confused and or high right now.
You're all... Let me put it to you like this. You're all in the realm of dreams. And with a certain amount of control, Denier waves his hand, and not too far away, a doorway begins to appear.
I just want you to know, as someone who just watched through all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies right now, I am really, really, like just last week, I am really, really waiting, bitch.
As you create this door, the Dreamwalker looks over. You have power over my own space.
Denier nods.
Do you have power over others?
In what regard? I can step into the dreams of others if I need to, but I rarely do unless it's to aid them or to check on them. But there are some that do bode ill for this world.
I have only found my ability to walk amongst those who are sleeping. I don't have control over their dreams. I may only visit. You've done something I didn't know was possible.
It's doable, but it's difficult to do so. It took me a number of years to develop. And it took even longer to attune myself to it. It's the difference when I'm here, when I'm in the realm of dreams, I feel stronger than I do in the waking world. I feel a more innate connection, almost to the weave of magic. I've been working with magic for a long time, but here I feel the weave so much stronger. I can cast magic that I'd never been able to previously. I've been able to do things I haven't thought possible.
Have you worked your magic on the Pixies?
No, I've never attempted to cast my magic onto Fae. Although I am...
Minds, lately, have grown darker.
Darker?
Yes.
Have you seen of a thick red mist? And Denier's going to, in his hands, he's going to create a large orb. And he's going to show flashes of images from when he was inside of Garrick's mind of the thick red corrupting mist that seemed to overtake everything.
As you do this, the parishioners around you, who were just kind of like writhing and just like vibing, all kind of like wince and shudder as you show these images.
No, nothing like that.
And I make it disappear. So he's not here. Good. An enemy of mine. An enemy I've spent my entire life preparing to face. A being of such utter corruption that the only thing that it leaves is corruption and devastation in its wake. It likes to wander dreams just as I do.
I'm glad to say I haven't encountered something like that. No, the Pixies, their minds have grown dark with conflict.
Has this ever happened before?
Not with the Pixies. The Pixies,
No, but
they had...
has something like this happened before, though?
There's been conflict in the wilds out here. The overgrowth is known to have territorial disputes. But the Pixies have always stayed out of it. Their sigil stone has kept them safe.
Sigil stone.
Yeah. Protection of sorts. Meant to keep them and their ilk safe in their territory. But lately, I've been feeling a shiver from them. Their dreamscape is cold and harsh.
This is something that I must look into. Do you know where the Pixies are?
He holds out his hand to you.
Of course.
Daenerys will reach out and take it.
And as he gives you permission to walk with him, you all kind of like form into this bubble as you drift, cutting yourselves off from the parishioners behind you. You float through the forests. You fly through what appear to be like clouds and mists. And you find yourself in the dreamscape of the fairies. It seems to be a world like a thick, dead marsh, not unlike the marsh you just walked out of. But everything seems wrangled or just kind of mangled and rot. You see the pixies kind of just hiding as the roots of the trees kind of twist and turn and wriggle up from beneath the ground. You see one of the roots shoot out and wrap itself around the leg of a pixie trying to fly away, and begin to drag it down into the muck as the pixie screams in terror.
Let me see. Is there any way that I can attempt to sever the root as it's trying to drag the pixie down?
As a free action, it disappears.
Oh.
And the pixie flutters free. You control the dreamscape.
Mm-hmm. Placing his hand behind his back, Daenerys begins wandering over.
Weird.
Who did that?
That would be me. He gives a bow. Good evening.
The pixie, a small boy-like sprite kind of flutters over to you. Who are you? What is your... I ain't seen your type before.
There are very few of me. I am called Somnium Vagus. I wander the dreams, trying to...
Name?
It is. I believe it translates roughly to the dream traveler or the dream walker. I wander dream to dream, trying to assist those I can. I've been told that the pixies have been having issues, and I see without a doubt that you are having issues here.
You hear cackling coming from behind some of the tree roots. Oh, he shudders and twists.
Well, now. What do we have here? He's going to turn and look towards the cackling.
You see a fleshy stump of a creature with a big red floppy hat, wielding blades, staring at you from the darkness, eyes glowing yellow.
Are you the one that causes these pixies issue and causes them harm?
Aiden, it's Ilgar. They attack us. They took our stone.
Was that thing just speaking a language?
What languages do you know?
Oh boy.
Oh,
I
boy,
know
what about mine? Okay.
I know Celestial, Elven, and Common.
Not one that you know.
What about Undercommon?
Nope.
Draconic?
Nope.
Damn it!
Also, it probably wouldn't help too much because the pixie doesn't speak the language either.
No, well.
Fuck.
And that's the mind you're in.
But can I identify that it was, in fact, speaking a language?
The sounds it was making did make it seem like the pixie was garbling up some form of language.
Okay.
You're just not sure what that language could have been.
I see. And this stone has been protecting you and your people. Without the stone, your dreams are falling victim to these outside forces, yes?
Make it worse. Them's been disappearing around here. All sorts have. Not just us. The Sighters. The Fawns.
I don't like this, Wolfgang.
Me neither.
Pardon, I ain't been introducing myself. I'm Plum Boy. What's your snickering?
I need to restart this conversation. I can't.
They're not used to Fey folk. That's Wolfgang, Nara, and Asmo.
Well, I ain't used to lizards with Snickers on them.
Pleasure.
And he's going to make sure that the being with the blades stays far away and just stays away.
As you intend that, it seems to stretch back into an infinity, back into this like endless wood.
Yeah. Go away. We need to talk. And he just, and then he turns his attention back. I take it that this isn't your normal place. So Denier snaps his fingers, and if possible, the woods shift from the marsh back into the overgrowth during the day.
You take his dream, and all around you it begins to brighten, and the glades around you turn a bright sparkling green. All of the rot begins to undo as all of the flora begins reforming around you. Bright, beautiful flowers of pink and violet and crimson all sprout out along vines, ringing down beautiful trees with little mushroom cap houses where all these pixies live. Bees begin buzzing through the air. Oh,
That's better.
it's beautiful.
I have no tolerance or patience for nightmares unless they're used for the betterment of the world. So, go ahead.
Old man, did you bring him here? He looks towards the Dreamwalker, who's just kind of astonished by what you've done.
I did, little one, but his powers are far beyond mine.
Everybody has their own specialty. No better healer than Wolfgang over there. No better frontline fighter than Asmo.
Someone else will be better.
I feel like my skill set is a bit more varied than being a healer.
Oh, but of course. He just gives a little bit of a smile. Nobody's more clever than Nara. But he turns his attention back to Plum Boy. So, what information can you give about this stone? Where it is? What happened? I assume that it was those creatures that took it.
Aye. Mostly they kept to themselves for a long time. Just going after old rot mushrooms. Crawling under gruggety stumps, picking up scraps from adventurers. They like shinies. Sometimes they'd grab what they could from the metals in the caves. Then they just went afoul. Started attacking folk out of nowhere. And then they came for us and our stone. There's so many of them.
Almost like there's something in the woods that are pushing things out. We ran into these snails not too long ago, and a giant frog going after them. The fawns say that they're not supposed to be this far out, but they are.
Aye, something's been spooking them from that cave. Them caves,
Can you
I think
tell us how
that's
to
where
get...
these is holed up. Them stumpy boys.
Dumpy.
Stumpy, you know, them's with the blades and the floofy hats.
Dwarves.
Floopy?
I don't know for no dwarves.
Floopy how?
Wait, no, not dwarves. Goblins?
They didn't look like any goblins we ever saw.
Bugbears.
Bugbears are bigger.
What do these floofy hats look like?
You
You
just
saw one. It was in the dream here just a minute ago.
Oh, yeah.
You could bring it back, but I still don't like slaying my eyes on him.
It's okay. I can show them a picture of it later on. So these caves that these things are in, where are they?
When they took our stone, a few of us trailed them back that ways. Only a couple of us made it back alive. But if you find me, I could probably show you.
So you're saying if we find them, we can kill them?
Oh, please do. Every single one of them.
Every single one?
Every
All
single
of them?
one.
She looks at Asmo and smiles
Excellent.
real big.
That's my favorite part of this.
They've caused nothing but harm since they get... No, that's not true. They've been around for so long, but they just snapped.
What do you mean? They were here before?
We pixies, we know how to live kindly with anyone nearby. Sure, we play a prank or two on them, but never an all-out war. We're a peaceful lot. Even
When
these
did they
folk,
snap?
not long ago. They started acting stranger and stranger, getting more violent. And that's when the creature started disappearing. And then finally one night they just... out of nowhere, they're cackling everywhere. You can start to kind of hear the cackling echoing through the area around you. Which is quickly faded by Daenerys' control over this dream.
Keep a good handle on this, Daenerys.
Has those guys' blades out already?
Did you see a man wandering through the Feywild before
Man?
all this started?
Huh.
Like an elf, or perhaps a man wearing a mask.
I saw a dark-haired fellow, and I saw a light-haired fellow, but this wasn't too long ago. They were here were here after the stone got taken, so I don't know what they'd have to do with it. Light-haired fellow looked a bit like you. Actually.
I'm not shocked. He's my cousin.
Suppose you're looking for him then.
Looking for both of them.
We're looking for a lot of people.
Ain't that the truth?
We're on our way to Arcanos.
The big man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Big guy.
Dangerous choices you lot make. Thinking you can make it into the wilds.
Don't we know it?
Just here for the bodies.
Well, there'd be plenty of them in that wake. At the very least, the two I saw walk past.
Do you know anything about a man by the name of Grabthor? He comes through here a lot.
Grabther? Yeah. He's been through here dozens of times.
Dozens.
Always looking to get back, he says. Claims he saw Arcanos once. That was when he got real old. Of course, time works different out here. Maybe it's just been a while.
So how is it that we can get to you? You said that you would lead us to the cave.
I suppose you're with the old man right now.
Yeah, they're here at our commune tonight.
I think I might know the way. Plum Boy thinks really hard. And in your head, Denier, he starts to impart this map with various points of interest to gather you along your way.
Ooh, very useful.
If you look for these points, you should be able to find us in maybe 2 days' travel. Maybe a day and a half. Maybe half a day, depending on how the wilds treat you. Things are strange out this way. Strange for you.
Normal for you. Yeah.
He kind of shudders for a moment. This is all still a dream, right?
Yep.
When I wake up, it's not going to be here, is it?
I don't know what it's going to be like, but at the very least, this will give you a little bit of refuge and a little bit of peace. But I'm gonna talk to them. Emotions towards Wolfgang, Asmo, and Nara, and we're gonna see what we're gonna do. He gives a little bit of a smile.
Thank you, Somnium Vegas.
You're welcome, Plum Boy. Just do your best. Try to keep the hope alive. And just know that you've got friends.
I'll let everyone know when I wake up. Plum Boy will tell them all.
Good.
He'll send them far and wide to look for you on your way.
Very good. I'll be keeping an eye out on you. He turns to the rest of the party. Do any of you have any questions?
Can't think of anything.
Anything special about killing things here?
I assume they bleed like all the rest of things you kill. I assume you kill a lot.
Dinian gives a nod. I don't like it though, but when you got to, you got to.
have you seen any crystals, pink in color?
What kind of pink?
Bright pink, unforgetful, almost red, baleful.
There was a strange one on that dark-haired man. If that's what you're talking about. It caught my eye. But I needed to avert. Something not natural about it.
If that's the only one, then good. Stay away from him. He's not stable at the moment.
Doesn't feel like many things are, sir.
That's why we're here.
And with that, you guys fade back from his dream, being pulled back by Denier.
Yep, I make sure that the rest of his dream that he has is peaceful and gentle. For whatever time he has left, I want to make sure that he enjoys it. As I open a doorway and I allow my companions back through.
You guys each enjoy a full night's rest. And here's where we'll take a quick break. You guys awaken the next morning, seemingly like it feels like time barely passed for you, like maybe 10 minutes have gone by, but your bodies feel fully rested. As you awaken, everybody around you is up, and they are all working now. Like the smell of the fog in the air is cleared. Everybody around you seems like very bright-eyed and cleared and focused as they are wandering around. They appear to be gathering berries and sorts, doing various chores, like making sure that the area is properly pruned. Some of them are tending to the young. Whatever you stumbled into definitely seemed to be a nighttime ritual. Everybody except for Barnaby seems to be completely stone sober.
Oh, you guys are back. Welcome.
Thank you.
How long were we gone for?
As I'll start slowly yawning.
Like 10 hours.
10?
Don't worry, I watched your parties where you were at. You're fine.
Time in the dreamscape is kind of relative.
That's the longest I've slept and not been dead in a long time.
I thought you don't sleep.
Well, what you
Explains why I
refer
slept
to as
so good.
sleeping.
Despite sleeping on the floor.
Yeah, it really seemed to drain it out of the old man, too.
Barnaby points up to the stump where the Dreamwalker is just kind of like slumped over, making like very deep breaths, but he's just kind of like sleeping, seated on that mushroom.
It was an enlightening experience. I'm beyond thrilled that we reached out to you, Barnaby.
Yeah, it's good having people pop by. You know, especially ones that aren't like jerks. But I'm a good judge of character. We're usually pretty good judge of characters as kids, and it just kind of stuck around for me, you know?
Makes sense.
Don't we have stuff to kill?
That we do.
Well, I ain't gonna keep you if you need to go places, but this is about as far as my journey goes.
Oh no, it's okay. The Pixies gave me a heads up of where we need to go.
All right, on. When did they stop by?
We talked to them We talked to him in the dream world with the Dreamwalker.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah, apparently they've been having a lot of trouble as of late.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. We're going to see about helping them out, though.
Right on. Go get him, Dreamcat.
Absolutely. Do you three need anything? Like,
I'm trying to wake up. I've never slept like that before in my life.
Oh, shoot, you guys are probably hungry.
Oh my god, is that what that is? I feel sick and hungry at the same time.
Oh, man, you got a green over.
Oh no.
It's like...
Am I going to die?
Yeah, Asmo, you're still a little faded.
You missed my great Clone High reference there, Nick.
I have not seen
You have
Clone High,
ADHD.
so it probably went way over my head.
Gandhi, you have ADHD. Oh my god. Will I die?
Oh my god.
Shit like that. Barnaby actually kind of takes you over to a very nice Glenley meadow where some of the faunus people have been gathering vegetation.
These guys need to eat for their journey. We got much stuff?
Some of the fawn ladies look around. Oh, of course we do. Of course we do. They start gathering things. They're a vegetarian people, so they serve you up a series of delicious ripe fruits, lush kind of like romaine-like cabbagey leaves, and some very well carved root vegetables, things like wild carrots and onion.
These are delicious.
Asmo's eating very slowly.
Nara's kind of pouting because it's not meat, and just like kind of to herself says,
I'll eat what we kill later.
3 out of the 4 members are carnivores. That's right. But that's, you know what? You take what you can get sometimes.
Yep, Denier enjoys himself a little bit. He's going to, while everybody's having breakfast, he's going to have a little bit of breakfast, and he's just going to write in his spell book for about a half hour.
All right, you guys feast up. Those of you that decide to.
Wolfgang's spectral wings extend out and tap each of you, and you all gain 9 temporary hit points.
Yeah!
As these translucent, kind of like radiant, glistening feathers kind of like sprinkle around you.
Nara, while eating a carrot, under her breath goes,
Show off.
You're welcome.
The carrot is actually pleasantly sweet.
Nara pouts
That means
further.
no GMOs.
Yeah, it's all organic out here, man.
What were we eating beforehand?
Nothing but magic-produced crops.
Oh god.
Also
That's why
probably
I've never
dried
felt
trail
satisfied.
meat and fresh butchered beef.
Looks at Tewick. looks at the
Delicious good
Crowley
berries.
estate. The Crowley estate.
Yep. Magically produced to feed as many people as possible.
Ugh. Grode.
I mean, it's no different from the replicators in Star Trek. Yeah.
That's probably better than those. Who knows what kind of
probably.
weird radiation those come with. Alright, so you guys devour what you see fit to devour, and you begin traveling through the forests, leaving behind Barnaby and his commune, who all bid you a very fond farewell, having barely spent any time with you, but they seem like a very friendly folk.
Definitely a place to return to if there's time. At least for Denier.
You definitely feel like there was wisdom to be gleaned from the Dreamwalker. Perhaps some things that you didn't like, aspects of the dream world that you hadn't thought of that he somehow stumbled upon in his adventures. But having a quest at hand, you decide to travel forth.
Oh, I can easily reach, now that I know him, I can reach out to him at any time.
True, should not be an issue now that you know, as long as he is dream walking, which apparently he is either dream walking or sleeping now, is what you're learning.
Mm-hmm.
You should be able to find him pretty much at any time.
Yup.
You guys travel further into the woods with knowledge at hand of where you need to go. Denier, go ahead and give me a survival check with advantage.
Okay.
Being the one who was given these instructions into your head by the Fae, or by the Pixies.
That is a 19.
Ooh. Pretty easily you're able to find some of these very vivid pictures that are painted into your mind. As you like walk toward one, it kind of just like poof flashes into your head, like frame for frame perfect, standing in front of like the crooked crook of a babbling brook as you cross over the stilted stump. Ooh, this is a lot of fun alliteration. Shit, I stopped. Anyway. I didn't even plan that. You travel over the stilted stump that's kind of like bridging, and you begin heading towards, heading in the direction that Plum Boy deemed. You find the large, droopy willow tree sitting in the middle of a fairy glen. Lots of deer, including a buck with maybe like a 30-pointed antler standing before you, and these antlers are kind of like growing like little trees out of the tops of them. As you get further in, these beasts seem to get more and more mythical as you travel. I don't know why I haven't just uncovered patches of forest. You continue traveling piece by piece further into these woods and back toward the direction they claim you to go. Time almost seems to flow in a manner that you are very much not used to. Almost in an instant, it becomes dark. But it barely feels like it's past noon. And then minutes later, it looks like it's, dawn again.
This is one of those things that we were told to look out for, right?
You're not sure if this in particular... you remember mist being involved. And so far you have not seen hide nor hair of a cloud.
Okay. I would have re-upped my detect magic and also put on the goggles of seeing invisibility, just as a rule.
With your goggles of seeing invisibility, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Perception. It's going to be a natural 1.
Oh.
I'm also going to be turning on detect magic, actually.
Yeah.
Just for the shiz.
With detect magic, you notice that, once again, a lot of the creatures out here have some sort of innate magical properties to them. Even some of the trees at this point are beginning to ebb with this magical flow as you travel further and further in. Actually, I need to roll something.
I'll keep a vigilant eye out on our surroundings in that case.
Same with Nara.
Specific.
Nara, go ahead and give me a perception check.
17.
You see kind of like fluttering behind the branch of a tree what appears to be another pixie, this one a small female, kind of like glancing at you from behind some branches.
She just stares straight at it. Pixie! Come here!
She kind of pops her head out of the out of the brush of the tree branch.
You need to look for me?
Yeah, we were talking to Plum Boy yesterday.
Let's see. Olive skin lady? White hat
Huh?
man? Snickery serpent? Where's the star cloak?
Right here. It's only starred whenever I'm in dreams. Pull the hood back, or... Well, I'm wearing the bomber jacket, but yeah, he shows his face. The cloak of stars is whenever I'm walking through dreams.
So you're Sumnum Vegas.
Yes.
I was sent to find you by Prince Plumboy.
Prince. He never said anything about being a prince, that I remember. Last night was a lot.
But nonetheless, it was indeed a lot. But good thing that you found us. Who are you?
She
if I may
flutters.
ask?
She flutters down.
Oh, I'm Squiggle Pip.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Squiggle Pip.
I was sent to find you. I can lead you back. Quickly. Brothers, sisters, I found them!
She calls out around her as a few more pixies kind of flutter about.
Oh, she found them, she found them, she found them, she found them!
As maybe like 5 more pixies, male and female, each with very bright colored hair, kind of come out of nowhere. Each a different chromatic hue, kind of flutter down and around you.
This way! This way!
And they start fluttering their pixie dust around you, and you feel your feet begin to lighten.
Oh, yeah!
What?
Uh-oh.
You start to lift off of the ground.
What? Ah!
We have to believe in fairies. We do.
What?
You
No,
better
no, no,
believe
no,
it.
no, no, I like ground.
One of the male parries.
You best start believing in fairy tales! You're in one!
Oh, cripes.
As they like swool around you, each of you begin to take flight. You each are now under the effect of the spell Flight.
Woo!
And now you have a base 60 movement speed, unhindered by the ground. As the pixies begin darting forward, daring you to follow them.
I'm going
Well,
up.
I'm pretty used to this, so I just follow them.
Yes, but this time it's without wings, so like you're kind of unused to the balance of it. It feels strange, but with time it begins to feel natural.
Welcome to my world, children.
Nara scowls and tries running in the air.
Just with your mind projecting you believing you should be going forward, you do in fact look like you're, you know that like old Flash show, like the live action one where he's just in front of a green screen, a projection, just moving his arms back and forth? That's what you look like. You're just like wiggling your feet nowhere near as fast as they would need to be traveling as fast as you are. But you're traveling fast.
It's like
Traveling real fast, but my
Yeah.
feet are going slower than the speed I'm moving.
Yep.
It's like the opening scene of Howl's Moving Castle when Howl and Sophie are walking.
Yeah.
And
So you guys just like start zooming through the forest. The Battle of Endor starts playing in the background, and
Right when I took a
dun,
drink.
dun 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 dun.
All right, who hits a tree?
Not it. Nose goes.
Yeah, Daenerys turns around. Who hits a tree? Smacks into a tree.
Oh my god.
Okay, I flew into that one.
And within a a matter of what feels like an hour, the spell continues to persist as long as these pixies are around you. You guys start to notice that the trees around you are kind of like looking sadder and sadder as you continue traveling. And the pixies themselves kind of begin slowing down bit by bit, almost as if hesitant to reach where they're going. And while not quite as bleak as that dream world you found yourself in, you find yourself in this ruined glen where shattered mushroom houses and like little pixie hives and toadstool huts are just kind of shattered and smashed at the center of this what looked to be pixie village. There are several charms scattered above little mounds of grass scattered throughout the surrounding area. And at the very center of this town is this shattered stone pedestal. And sitting alone amongst its rubble is the orange-haired pixie boy, Plum Boy, who looks over when he hears the fluttering. Kind of takes like a hopeful step forward, like as if wiping a tear from his eyes. You found them! As you guys flutter to a stop and slowly but surely land back on your feet at the center of this broken pixie village.
Now that Nara's gotten the hang of flying around, she's gonna be doing all sorts of fancy flourishes before she gets on the ground now that flying is fun.
I'm glad it's fun for one of us, God.
You do a barrel roll, a flip, land with like your hands in the air, a perfect 10-point landing. Boonk. Three of the fairy boys behind you. I'm glad you made it. Plum Boy kind of flutters up. You look different in the daylight.
Yeah. We all have our different forms. This is just me in the waking world. But thank you for sending your scout party for us. And
I'm just imagining in the background, out of focus, you just see Asma trying to pull down Nara's foot. Get down! Get down!
No!
She already landed.
She started flying again because there was talking happening and she didn't really care about it. So that's Asmo trying to pull her back down to get her to listen, and she doesn't want to.
Asmo climbs a tree as you're like just using the remnants of the magic.
I'm like leaning out with a stick in my hand, just like lightly smacking her, like, come on! Come on!
No!
I kind of imagine just Asmo grabbing Nara's foot and then Nara just pulling away and just all of a sudden just Asmo going with her.
Fucking hate Peter Pan movies.
So, with that going on in the background, Plum Boy floats before, I guess, Denier and Wolfgang.
Yep.
Greetings to you.
Fancy meeting you again there, white stranger. I don't believe I caught your name.
Wolfgang.
I'm Plum Boy. I guess
Pleased
I'm
to meet
king
you again.
around here now.
This a recent development?
Since my parents went missing, yeah.
How long ago?
A few weeks.
You think the Red Hats have something to do with it?
I know the Red Hats have something to do with it. Those bastards,
Look what they did. He points to the rubble, and then he sweeps his arm up across all of the little mounds of grassy dirt, all the shattered homes. They did all this. They came in stomping and slashing. Taken by madness they were.
Was it only the
physically look different about them?
I didn't interact with them much before, so I can't say for certain. But the madness in their eyes, it's like they weren't even taking enjoyment from it, they were just doing it for the sake of it.
And you said they weren't always like that.
No, I mean, they'd get in a scuffle here and there, but never something like this. They're scavengers, sure. They ain't wild animals, they ain't beasts. Maybe they were, and they're just really good at hiding it.
Or something's controlling them.
I don't know nothing about that. Not saying there ain't nothing out there that could. Just saying I ain't got no resources to deal with it. Christ, I'm only 50! He throws a rock.
Fucking poker faces.
Nara finally comes down at the throwing of the rock.
These creatures that he was describing, would I find these in my book of lore?
His handy dandy notebook.
Denier would have been able to show you, or I guess you saw the nightmare depiction of one.
Yeah.
So scrolling through your book, go ahead and give me a knowledge of nature and knowledge arcana, your choice.
Would Nara knows
manual?
what these are in her hunts?
You could give me a knowledge nature as well.
Huh.
Go for knowledge arcana.
5.
17.
Nara, no dice. Wolfgang, having had enough time while traveling to search through your journal, the thing that caught your eye the most, like when you used to scrounge through this, like the bestiary books from your father's library, the thing that caught your eye the most was the big floppy red hat. And this species appears to be some off cousin of the gnomes known as a redcap.
Ooh, excuse me.
Appropriately named.
Mm-hmm.
Red caps.
If that's what you want calling them, certainly fits.
Apparently my father's seen them before, or at least one of my ancestors.
Your people come out here much? Said your cousin was here.
A few times. Only when something needs doing.
I guess I should be thankful that you're here now then, since something does need doing.
Like we said last night. So, these red caps, they are making moves in on your territory.
I ain't seen much of them late. They just came in and stole our stone, but now anything could move in on us. Thought that stone were basically naked. He kind of like gestures down towards his very naked body.
And this stone, does it go in one of those guardian things?
No, this stone was crafted by the ancients of our people. We sat it in the... He gestures towards the rubble of what looks to be a old, I guess, tablet, like an old pillar of sorts. Used to reside straight in the middle of there.
Could I detect magic and see if I could garner what this thing's purpose was, or perhaps any magical residue traces?
Go ahead and give me an Arcana check on it. Detecting magic would only yield any, like, very faint effects.
Oh my god.
That's another natural one.
Or I could also look at it.
With a natural one, Wolfgang, this thing is so ancient. Its use of, like, magical purposes is so wide that it's kind of beyond your imagination as to, like, what exactly its purpose is.
Okay.
Based on all of my recent more able to understand the gems and stuff, would I be able to understand this thing at all?
This thing doesn't have anything to do with channeling human souls into gems, but you can go ahead and give me an Arcana check too if you'd like.
Yeah, I was just trying to think of like similar type storing energy and things. We'll see. 11. Not great.
Based on the rubble sitting around it, it does look like the stone was dislodged from this thing after it was destroyed. So the stone was definitely stronger than the implements that was used to destroy this piece of arcane malfactory. But you can't glean its purpose from that. Based on everything you guys are hearing, though, it was definitely some sort of protection, charm, or ward.
Can't it just be made again?
Exact effect, though. I can't just remake something like that. It's ancient. They say it was a gift from, well, him. He points up to the crackled mountains kind of ebbing out in the distance, floating above clouds. That's what they say anyway. And I certainly don't know how to make it, and no offense, but I'm not sure the lot of you do either.
Why not just go ask him for another one?
How's one even supposed to get there? May as well be a myth.
Flying seemed to work.
Try and fly through those clouds. Try and tell me that again. We've lost many people out that way.
Oh.
Many good pixies. Some of our best flyers tried to reach the top. Either taken down by the winged lizards or lost in the fog.
Winged lizards. Wyverns.
Wyvern?
I've heard that name, yeah.
I gotta get their sex.
What?
What?
Huh.
What? Okay.
Do you happen to know where the Redcaps congregate?
Last time I scouted out that way, they seem to take refuge in those caves. Caves out by the entry of the mists.
More caves, huh? Did they seem... How would I even ask this? Did they seem like just their minds were taken over, or did something physically change with them as well?
Like I said, I ain't seen much of them. As far as I can tell, they just went mad.
Or like I says, maybe they were always this way and they just were good at hiding it.
Okay.
I sense some murder coming up.
Well,
Steal
first
your blades. Let's wait.
and foremost, our primary goal is to get the ward back.
It's true.
If we can get the sigil back, perhaps we could at least rebuild our... Warden Arch.
Warden Arch.
Yeah, for protection. Keep this village safe again. Well, safer.
Above game, this is the first time he's mentioned that? Or am I just spacing out what he's talked about it in the past?
No, this is the first time
It's
he
the first
said
time he's
that.
mentioned it by name, but you can infer that he's referring to the pile of rubble he's been sitting by.
What? I mean, $1,000,000 question. What happened? Like, what actually happened?
I came in under the cloak of darkness.
So you have no idea who did this?
The fucking redheads.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Asmo's just kind of scratching his chin thinking. Asmo's so out of his depth right now. He's used to cities. He's not used to this. This is...
How far away are these caves?
Disney.
I can show you.
Well, one of my biggest concerns is, Lani, how much space is in this area? Is it like condensed forest, or is this? You said this is a ruined glade, right?
Yeah, you're in kind of like a small forest clearing. From like the clearing itself is probably 50 feet across and maybe 70 feet tall.
Okay. I have an idea that might be able to help. So if these things are, just in case these things come back, I could make something. I could conjure something for your people to at least give them some protection if the red caps come back while we're gone.
You do that for us.
Yeah. It's just, all it would take is a little bit of space, but it's a lot sturdier than the houses you've got now.
See.
Nara. Asmo just whispers in her ear.
What?
I think we're gonna kill us some redcaps.
Yes. We've done enough
Tiny
talking.
so we can feel like monsters.
I'm reminded of the first episode of Gravity Falls. It's in my head.
Oh my god.
If you're offering, I'd be a damn fool to say no.
Daenerys will wander off to a little area, just a little open area, and I am going to summon the tower. It's going to be the lounge. It's going to be the bathroom, and it's going to be the kitchen. I'm going to make it of a sturdy material. Pretty much I'm going to set it to defend against being attacked. Reinforced windows, no veranda this time, pretty much to make it as difficult as it can to get in.
So you build this massive stone obelisk at the center of this glade.
That's fancy. How do we get in?
Well, Daenerys opens up the door.
All right, how does the door open? You made it as difficult as possible to get in.
Well, obviously, once we get inside, we'd be able to barricade it.
Gotcha.
So,
okay, so there is a door.
There is most definitely a door.
I was like, I'm making it as difficult as possible to get in. No doors, just a straight tower. It's a big old obelisk.
Well, it's going to take us a long time, but I can dimension door us all in. And you're stuck for hours.
All right, so you have a nice stone door with a barricade for it on the inside, just a sliding block that can be slid into place so that it can't just be broken open too easily. Not without siege equipment.
Mm-hmm. Granted, it's our size, but I imagine that quite a number of your people can take refuge on one of the couches. Plus, we got some hot springs further up if you want, on the second floor if you want water, and I'm sure with the supplies I have, I can feed a lot of you.
Yeah, as you give him kind of like the tour.
Is this what you folk live in out there?
This is my home away from home. This is what we live in when we travel.
It's bigger than the entire village.
Well, we are much bigger. So we do need bigger accommodations. But hopefully this will do it for you. It will be here for 24 hours. After that, it disappears without a trace.
I'll have my people hole up. So I can show you where they're hiding.
Good. That way it'll keep them safe, just in case while we're gone they come back. It'll keep them busy for a while. There is an escape route up top, just in case it's very, very small, but your folk will be able to get out while they're busting in the front door.
Thank you, Somnum Vegas.
He nods and gives a big smile. Now, are we prepping, or are we going now?
That's up to you. If you feel ready, I'm ready. I've been ready for a while.
As ready as we're ever gonna be, I think.
Murder.
How long have we been traveling today, Lani?
By your estimate, probably about 6 hours time.
I'd still be good to go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm set to go as well.
I am too.
Yep.
All right. With a flutter of his wings, each of you are under the effect of flight again, as he begins leading you through the forest.
Yeah!
And as you guys dart into the trees, off to find the dangerous and dreaded Red Caps.
Fucking legendary.
Here's where we'll take an end to today's session.
I take an end.
Take a whole end. Everybody take
Take
an
an
end.
end.
Come on in, take an end.
Everybody.
I love ends.
I love ends.
This is where we will end today's session. There you go.
Ah, there it is.